Welcome to Sci-Fi Frontier. I'm Dominic, and in this episode, I'm going to be talking about the Expanse Season 4, Episode 2, Jetsam. So far, this season has been really good. Last season was really good, Season 3. So in this episode, just to give a quick breakdown, um, they're on the new planet that they found through the ring gates, and there are belters that settle the planet. And there is some tensions building because the belters have claimed the planet, but Earth has sent the scientific survey crew to check over the planet, and then Holden has also been sent there with the Rosinante because the proto-molecule has been found on this planet. Well, not the proto-molecule itself, but ancient alien ruins on this planet that suggest the ruins were created by the proto-molecule. So James Holden and his crew, their mission is to find out if this planet is safe for these belters to live on, or are they going to be consumed by the proto-molecule. And so now in this episode, they investigate the ancient ruins on this planet, and some tensions are brewing in the town because the main security chief is... You can tell that he is a psycho and he's ready to pop in this episode. So overall, another really solid episode, really well written, and a lot of stuff happens in these episodes, what I like about this show. And definitely watch this show. This is one of the better sci-fi shows that are on today. This is probably one of the best sci-fi shows. It's better than all the Star Trek stuff that's on the go right now. It's better than Lost in Space. It's really good. It's my favorite sci-fi show right now, The Expanse. Even though I'm a huge Star Trek fan, this is my favorite show. And Lost in Space, though, that's been good to watch that one as well. So now, that is my spoiler-free review of the episodes. Now I'm going to start talking details. So spoiler alert, if you haven't watched this episode yet, I'm going to start getting into details about the plot and discuss this episode a bit. So what I like about this season is, the first book in the Expanse, Leviathan's Wake, that was basically what I really liked about that first novel. It was a detective story set in the future. It was a detective noir set in space. That's what I liked about it, and it was very good. It was very good. Now, this season is based on book 4, I believe, Cibola Burn. I believe that's the title of the 4th book. And what I liked about that one, that was basically a Western in space. So you kind of got this security jerk who is... He's going to take over. He's like the bad, corrupt sheriff or the bully of the town, and James Holden and his crew, they're basically the stranger that comes to town to get rid of the bully out of town. You know, this plot of a million westerns, but it's just dragged out over a whole season. So some of the stuff that happens in this episode is tensions hit a boiling point with this security guy between him and the Belters, and James Holden and Alex go to explore the alien wreckage or the alien ruins, but also there's a secondary story of Bobby Draper on Mars. Now she's been discharged from the Martian Navy, and she's just got a blue collar job, but now she's been recruited by Aversala. I think that's how the name is pronounced. I always have a really hard time with that character's name. She tries to recruit Bobby to work for her, and Bobby shoots her down at first, or says no in this episode, doesn't want anything to do with it. But now this is probably the highlight of the episode. This is a very good scene. I really like this episode. Now this is something that is not in the books. This is something that's just in the series, but I really liked it. It was my favorite part of the episode. So she's living on Mars, and she's living with her nephew and some other family members. So her nephew is kind of wandering off with this girl that they think she's just dating. So now he's been wandering off, and he's claiming they're study mates for school. But so anyway, he kind of storms out, and she asks him, where are you going? He won't give her an answer, and he storms on it. So she takes upon herself to follow him to see where her nephew's going. So then she follows him to this place where he's working in a lab that's creating some kind of a drug that they can sell on the streets. And so basically this girl is part of a criminal organization of that's doing like a drug deal ring on Mars. And her nephew's kind of snarled up in it. So what I like about this episode, or what I really like about the scene, is she comes in there, confronts her nephew, tells him like, "What the hell are you doing here? Get home right now." And he like argues, "But no, you don't know what you're talking about. You got to get out of here right now. I got to stay. I got to do this." So then the girl, who's the study mate, shows up. She's all smug and all full of herself. And she basically says, "Well, no, you're going to have to, finish this. You're going to have to explain to your aunt what happens, to people who try to stop us." And, basically she implies your aunt's going to disappear. So these two other goons come in behind her and try. And so anyway, they totally underestimate who they're dealing with, that she's a Martian Marine and all that. And so they try to stop her, and she goes to town on them and beats the crap out of them. And it's a really good fight scene. And it's very believable because the actress they have playing Bobby in the series, she looks really big and tall. So I don't know how tall she is in real life, but she looks like she could really pound someone in real life. Like that she could pound the guy. So she just wastes these two guys and then just clocks the girl and then pulls her nephew out of it. And that was my favorite thing in this episode. I really loved that scene. And funny thing is about this character, Bobby Draper, is a character I really liked in the book series. And but when she first showed up in the TV series, I didn't picture her looking anything like the actress. Some of the characters kind of matched. Some of the actors kind of matched how I pictured the characters in my head, but she was like way off. And so, and I don't know, there's something about the way the character was. Like, I didn't like the character at first. Like the first season that she was in, I was like, I don't like this version of Bobby Draper. I liked her way better in the books. But now at this point, now the character has totally grown on me, and so I'm totally sold on this actress and this version of Bobby in the TV show. And this scene I thought was just awesome. So that was my favorite part of this episode. And then now, the other thing, what I like about The Expanse is the mystery behind the proto-molecule and the race that created it, and how it ended up destroying the race. I believe it's the race that created it. And so there's a real deep mystery going on with these alien artifacts. And it's a mystery. It's one of those mysteries that I hope doesn't get solved. I hope they never solve who actually created this proto-molecule. I think it's much more effective if it's just left up to your imagination. Because you can see time and time again in the past, when they try to over-explain a mystery, they completely ruin it. Just let it be. Just leave it as a symbol of the unknown, like the monolith from 2001: Space Odyssey. That's why that works so well, and it's such a great mystery in that movie, because they never explain it. So then he starts to see, when he gets there, he starts to see visions of Miller again. In this episode, Miller appears in his head, and so he wants him to activate these ancient alien structures. But there's like some vines that have grown in behind these structures, and basically he has to cut the vines free so the thing can activate, and it basically like opens up and change shape a bit, these things, and almost closes up on Holden just before he can get out of it. And now the design of the alien structure actually looks really cool. They're kind of like horns coming up out of the ground, but they're really detailed, and they just did a good job making them look just massive. So now the other thing that is, there's a lot of tension building in, it's the leader of the security force that came with the scientific crew that's there in with these Belters. So the episode ends with the Belters confronting this guy and basically threatening him, saying, you're not the law around here, you shouldn't be here, this is our planet, you have no business being here. And so one of them makes a slight threat towards this guy, and you can tell this guy has just been itching to blow away a Belter like for the last 2 episodes. So this is the excuse he gets, and he blows this guy's head off and kills him. And so the tensions are getting really, really thick. So you can see where the storyline is going. Now, obviously, I know where it's going overall, because the general storyline, because I read the book. But the series is a little bit different from the book, so there'll be some twists and turns in the series that wasn't in the book. But what I like about this episode, and what I think I'm going to like about the season, because the season is based on the fourth book. And what I liked about the fourth book is basically that's what it was. It was a Western. It was like a frontier Western show set in space. So you have these settlers. This is like an old idea of Westerns. You have these settlers that are in this area, and there's some kind of a mineral there, and this bully corporation tries to, or this group, they try to bully them out, or try to get them out of it, or take it away from them. The stakes that they've put up, and land that they claim, like that's an old thing from like Pale Rider and on like that. So that's what I liked about this. Is like, but set in space. So the Belters are the settlers, and the security guy, he's the bully. He's going to be the sheriff and all that kind of thing. And he's going to be the evil sheriff, or the evil bully that's going to come in and basically try to drive the Belters out of it, so then they can get all the resources for themselves. And Holden he's basically the Clint Eastwood type figure. Him and his crew, that they come to town, and the stranger comes to town storyline. Except Holden's not really a stranger, not like a Clint Eastwood stranger, but you get my idea of what this where the story is going. And actually, as far as the books go, the book 4 was actually one of my favorites in the book series. So really good series so far, and I really like the show. I gotta say, it's one of the best shows on TV right now as far as science fiction is concerned. So that's everything I got to say in this video. Let me know what you think in the comments section, and I will see you at the next one. Thank you to all of my subscribers, and thank you for watching this video. And if you're new to the channel, like, subscribe, and share. And don't forget to hit the bell icon for notification when new videos are uploaded.